Good evening, students, and welcome to Credence Law Learning. And this video is being presented for the educational purpose. We are going to analyze the question, we are going to analyze the Mohammedan law syllabus along with the series of questions unit wise. Here, we do have the question. Just a minute. There's a technical lag. 1 minute. Yes. Okay. From the first unit, the first concept is development to the Muslim law, how the Muslim law was developed, upon which we are going to discuss schools of Muslim law. In the development of Muslim law, we'll have to discuss how the Muslim law evolved, what was the situation before the advent of Prophet, and how the evolution took place during the Prophet's time. From the Prophet's time till today, we are going to discuss the development of the Islamic era. Then it's about schools. Speaking of schools, there are four schools: Hanafi, Hanbali, Shafi, Maliki. So these are the four schools of Islamic law, which is to be studied in detail. And this schools of Muslim law can be asked as a 16-mark long note question. And then third concept from the first unit it is, who is a Muhammadan? Now the question is, who is a Muhammadan? Muhammadan is someone who believes in two things. One is believes in oneness of God, and believes in the prophethood. That is, it is also based on a Arabic statement, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Someone who believes in oneness of God and follows the prophet and believes in the prophethood as well. So that is a Muhammadan. There's a meaning in the term itself, Muslim. Islam, I stands for the laws of Allah and Muhammad. Islam stands for I stand for the laws of Allah and Muhammad, is the full form of the term Islam. After this, there's a question of conversion of Islam. When a person is considered to be a convertee, when he can, what are the points, what are the conditions to be fulfilled for him to convert into Islam? And there is a very interesting concept called colorable conversion. Colorable conversion is if a person is reverting to Islam just to evade the personal liabilities of his religion, then the conversion will not be valid. The person who is reverting, who is converting, must be done with a genuine intention, with a good faith, with a good intention. Any intention which is not bona fide will not be valid. And then the concept of marriage. What is a marriage? Under the Muslim law, marriage is a contract where there is offer from one party, consideration being given by the other party, and there is also an acceptance. And also the concept of mahar. Mahar is a consideration. So that is the concept of marriage under Muslim law. And then we have different categories of marriage: void marriage, irregular marriage, and in the valid marriage, in the invalid marriage, we again have the categories consanguinity, fosterage, and different categories we will be discussing in the types of marriage. And then we'll have to discuss the Shariat Act of 1937. And very important, I repeat, it's a very important, from the first unit, that is sources of Muslim law. Sources of Muslim law is categorized into two. One is the primary source, other one is the secondary source. In the primary source, we do have four types. One is Quran, Sunnah, Hadith, Qiyas, and Ijma. Qiyas is opinion of the jurist. Ijma is consensus addendum. That is, okay, Qiyas is, we have four categories: Quran, Hadith, Ijma, and Qiyas. Ijma is consensus of the jurist. One is meeting of the mind of the jurist. That is consent of the jurist is the third one. And the fourth one, Qiyas, is equity, justice, and good conscience. If we are not able to find reference from any of the four sources, that is Quran, Hadith, and Ijma, we are going to give importance to the equity, justice, and good conscience, that is Qiyas. Okay, then we have secondary sources. In that it is custom, legislation, judicial decisions are the secondary sources. This is the first part of the first unit. And then we have the second part. In the second part, we are going to focus on the concept of marriage. What are the essential requirements of marriage? As I just mentioned, there must be an offer, acceptance, consideration, mahar, and the marriage between the parties must be valid. It should not be void. It should not be irregular. And so basically, from the marriage part, it's four things. One is, what is the definition to the term marriage under Muslim law, essentials of marriage, classification of marriage, and muta marriage, temporary marriage. This question can be asked for a short note. And then we have customary practices of polygamy, and just for a conceptual clarity, it's good for you all to understand, but not that important. And we have a concept of option of puberty. Option of puberty is again important. Now the question is, what is option of puberty? Once a Muslim is married at the age below 18, that is minority, then after attaining the age of majority, they have the option of either um, proceeding with the marriage or revoking the marriage. That is option of puberty. Puberty is maturity. After maturing, they have an option either to validate the marriage or to revoke the marriage. That is option of puberty, very important. And then the concept of dower. Dower is known as mahar, consideration. We have different categories of mahar, the immediate dower, and then prompt dower, proper dower, types of dowers, and widows' rights on retention. From this last, we I just found one practical oriented question from widows' right of retention that you can find in the playlist of our Muslim law playlist, Muhammadan law playlist of credence law learning. And then, speaking of the expected question, so here we are analyzing the questions, we are analyzing the syllabus, and also looking into the expected questions from the unit wise. So from the first unit, I suggest you people to first give importance to the sources of Muslim law. It's the most important. Sources to Muslim law, schools of Muslim law, and then the dower, types of dower, Shariat Act to be discussed in detail, essentials of marriage, what are the different categories of marriage, when the marriage is irregular and what would be the effects of irregular marriage, option of puberty I already mentioned, and then remedies available to the wife, payment of dower, and what used to be the customary dower, like what is basically the dower under Muslim law. And then we have muta marriage, which is important for the short note. And the 11th question what is mentioned here is effects of conversion to Islam on a marital rights. Actually here you are supposed to write about the conversion, what is conversion, and then what will happen to a Mohammedan if they convert into Islam, what will happen to their marital rights if husband and wife both convert into the Islam, and then they need to follow the Islamic law pertaining to their marital rights, right? So this is the analysis of first unit with the expected questions. And then we have the second unit. In the second unit, it is about the better parentage, acknowledgement, and then we have the Indian Divorce Act of 1869, and then talaq, effects of talaq, different categories of talaq, alimony, and the maintenance of divorced Muslim women under the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Divorce Act. This is important. They may ask you a question. Discuss the provisions of maintenance of divorced Muslim women under the Muslim Women Protection of Rights of Women Act of 1986. This question can be asked. Just give a thorough reading to the Bare Act. Now, speaking of expected questions from the second unit, one is what is talaq? What are the different modes of talaq here? What are the modes available to the husband, to the wife, and to both? That is mutual. And then Muslim, and it's about the Act, Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Divorce Act of 1986. We are supposed to give analysis to the whole Bare Act. We'll discuss that as well. And then kinds of guardians, and then what are the powers of the guardians, and dissolution of Muslim marriage under 1939. We have the grounds available to the husband and wife where they can ask for the dissolution, they can ask for the separation of parties. And then it is just a very quick information about the classes available. If you are in need of a proper guidance and a regular check on your preparations and quality learning, and with a proper understanding of the concepts, you can contact to the number given. And to get a free demo, you can contact to our team on the given number 7019560214. You can contact to the number. And then we have third unit. In the third unit, it's about 5 concepts. It's about, I repeat again, from the third unit, it's only 5 concepts. First concept we have is will. What is a will under the Muslim law? And the most important is limitation on a Mohammedan in making a will. Limitation on a Mohammedan in making a will is a Mohammedan cannot make a will exceeding 1/3. The 1/3 is the limit. 1/3 is the limit for a Mohammedan to make a will. So you are supposed to explain that in detail. 1/3 of his property. And then there's a concept of hiba. Now the question is, what is hiba? Hiba is nothing but gift. What are the essentials of the valid gift, and when the gift can be revoked? And then we have waqf. Waqf, and what are the valid waqf? Waqf is like dedicating the property for the religious purpose. The one who take care of the waqf is a mutawalli. So you can study waqf and mutawalli hand in hand. And then the last concept of the syllabus, what we can find in the third unit, is preemption. It's the most important. Preemption is the most important. You find this question in almost all the question papers. Now the question is what is preemption? Preemption is first giving preference to the heirs and the neighbors. It's like when 3 brothers are living conjointly, the first option, if one brother is willing to sell the property, the first preference must be given to the heir. And that is very important that we have 3 categories of preemption. That is the formation of the preemption, rights of preemption, when the preemption can be lost. So I suggest you people to read the concept of preemption in detail. And if you are in need of the detailed explanation of all this, you can contact to the number which is given. And then we will see the expected questions from the third unit. That one is, we have preemption. What are the types of preemption? May be important for the short note. If from the short note, they may ask you a direct question, kinds of preemption. And then when the right of preemption is lost, how a preemptor is appointed, what are the rights, what are the duties, and how it is formed. And that is the first question, which is important. And then we have mutawalli. Mutawalli, powers and duties of mutawalli. Who can be appointed as a mutawalli? Mutawalli is the one who is going to take care of the waqf. And then we have hiba. Hiba is nothing but a gift. What is the importance of the gift under Muslim law? Yes, the Prophet have emphasized on the importance of the gift. Giving and taking will add on to the love and affection between the people. And then gift is given importance, and we have gift types of gift. Hibabil ivaz and hibabil yeah, different two types of hibaz, hibabil ivaz, hibabil ilvaz. And then we have as I already mentioned, from the will, they'll definitely ask you limitation on the testamentary power of a Muslim to bequeath his property. Bequeath is transfer the property. What is the limit upon the Muslim pertaining to the will when he is transferring his property under a will? That is 1/3 is the limit. That is to be discussed in detail, and there is a proper format of the answer to be structured. If you are in need of that kind of notes, you can contact the number 7019560214. You can contact to that number. And then bequeathable third is can be asked as a short question. And then we have fourth unit. Fourth unit is about the succession again. Here it's more of practical questions. We find more of practical oriented questions from the fourth unit. So the practical oriented question series, you can find it in the playlist of the Mohammedan Law in the Credence Law Learning channel, where you can find the practical oriented question Mohammedan Law in series form, part 1, part 2, part 3. You can find it there. And then here, domicile is important. Kinds of domicile. What is the Parsi's non-Parsi dying intestate? How a Parsi's property is to be devolved, and succession certificate, probate, and executor. So basically, it's 4 things from the fourth unit. One is domicile, kinds, Parsi, non-Parsi dying intestate, succession certificate, administrator, and executor. Administrator, executor, succession certificate, domicile is important from the theory point of view. They can ask this for a 10 mark. Then important question, expected question, this has been taken from the past papers. When we have one, we have is a succession certificate, how it can be obtained and what are the powers of the executor, domicile and non-party-dying interstate, doctrine of all, and the powers and the duties of the executor. Most expected theory questions. For the practical questions, do check it in the playlist of the credence law. And then fifth unit, that is the last unit. From the last unit, it is privileged will, unprivileged will, how a privileged will is made, what is unprivileged will, and how the procedure is to be followed. And then we have bequeath, kinds of legacies. Kinds of legacies is important, specific constructive legacy. And we have protection of property of a deceased, appointment of curator, family codes act of 1984. And then Uniform Civil Code. Uniform Civil Code is given under Article 44 of Indian Constitution. Article 44 of Indian Constitution, that is Uniform Civil Code, is important from the short note point of view. And this has been repeatedly asked. Just have a research on the Uniform Civil Code, and rest you can explain the concept in your language. Then here from the fifth unit, I suggest you people to give a thorough reading to the Families Act of 1984. There you study about their powers, their functions, and the constitution, appointment of curator, and bequeath. Then privileged and unprivileged with UCC is important for the short note. Then we have what is a will, procedure to execute unprivileged will, salient features of this Families Act and Uniform Civil Code, legacies and provisions of Indian Succession Act relating to the protection of the property of the deceased. And this is all about the syllabus analysis and the most expected questions from the Mohammedan law from the previous year's papers that has been taken. And then that if you are in need of proper guidance, you can contact to the number given. And to get our free demo session, you can contact our team. See you all in the next video. If you have any special request for any concept videos, you can contact to our team on the given number. All the best for your upcoming semester. Mohammedan law is not an easy subject. Start preparing for the subject from now on. And if you are in need of proper guidance, please do contact us. See you all. All the